Eugenicist H.G. Wells, who wrote many nonfiction books about the planetary government they would establish, and who was a high-level initiate in the secret societies, he wrote in War of the Worlds that the Martians, which is a archetype of the global elite, they see themselves as gods above us, or a metaphor, looked at us like creatures in a petri dish, or insects, and studied us. And the globalists manipulate, they divide and conquer different nations, different supposed racial groups, religious groups, and they sit outside of it while playing us all off against each other. And as long as we're run by our instincts, we can be controlled. Like, take these ants as black people and white people, with the global elite studying them. There's just a few ants out foraging. These are fire ants from Brazil that invaded the 1950s into North America via shipments, but that's a side issue. Very aggressive waterborne ant. They can live on the edge of major rivers. But I'm giving you trivia. Let's describe them as blacks and whites. If you just put some regular poison on here, food-based poison where they think it's food, they'll take it down into their lair, into their burrows beneath, and they'll feed it to their queen and die. If it's a poison that kills them slowly, they won't notice it, and they'll ingest it. If you put a really strong poison on, they'll run from it, and it won't be as effective. Separately, if they see an outside threat that's advertised by, say, my fist slamming down to this, thousands of ants will pour out. But if I just put a, again, mild poison that they think is food, they'll take it in and ingest it and die. And that's what soft kill, eugenics, GMO, the vaccines, all of it are. Now let's say there were two different ant species having a war here, which does happen here in Texas and many other areas. The old red ant, of course, will get in big wars with fire ants and usually lose. That's why most of the old ants are gone. They've been supplanted by these. But let's say that there was another group of red ants over here versus these fire ants. And I could stir them up to kill each other. Well, I'd get rid of my ant problem. And that's what's happening with this Trayvon Martin thing with the Zimmerman shooting and all the rest of it. When blacks are actually being killed and being aborted and having their families broken up and being grabbed by foster system to have things tested on them, I mean, that's ongoing. Jesse Jackson and people don't talk about it. So it's a non-issue. But when the media stirs it up that somebody gets shot in a different circumstance where it's an individual they can blame, it turns into a huge, giant media spectacle because it creates racial division, so the people are fighting each other and not the elite, and they can demonize the Second Amendment. And that's why the establishment media decided to go with this story. It's basically doing this to get everybody fighting with each other, to get everybody stirred up, so they don't notice the soft kill. The ants are coming out to try to attack me right now. But if I just came over here and put some of the different poisons that, again, look and taste like food, they'd take it to their mommy. You see that? That's how the globalists see us, as animals. And are we going to be played off against each other? There's some of the larvae in there. That's an important question everybody needs to ask themselves. You look at the smaller things in life, it's just magnified on a wider scale everywhere. That's why the globalists call it as above, so below. And so now, there they are. But if I just came and gave them a poison designed to look and taste like food, they'd take it and eat it. Again, that's what soft kill is. That's what eugenics is. That's what all this social engineering is. All right, Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com. I'm going to have more of these reports tying the way insects operate into how the globalists see us and what's happening in our society. Next, I'm going to show you ant lions.